right, one headline that we definitely need to go ahead and touch, of course, Lockheed Martin reported today, so you guys can take a look at that. This is one that I'm kicking myself, man. I had this in the 470s, was looking for the 500 run. Seems like we're almost there. We hit it. Oh, it looks like we did hit it in the pre-market. Went up there towards 502
The
at 8
all-time high.
a.m. I was looking for this move. I'm definitely kicking myself a little bit for missing this one. And the big thing for me on this one was that it just got sleepy. It just started going sideways here in March, and I could see that, the war situation wasn't going away.
Yeah.
We had Xi kind of visiting Putin. I was like, well, I mean, any mention of
It's your
strengthening
ultimate
that,
war stock.
yeah, any talk that they're strengthening their relationship, and I thought Lockheed could go. Well, now you're seeing it's already to 500.
Yeah. 500 is huge. Hasn't been there before. I believe that's an all-time high, Mitch.
Yeah,
You'll
it
have
is.
optionality. Remember, we have options expiration here coming in a couple days. So you probably have some 500. I didn't look, but I'm just assuming you have some open interest at the 500. Those big psychological numbers work for that main reason. That's where the big strikes are. Let's see what it does here. Again, I'm going to say kind of the same thing that I just said on J&J. Lockheed Martin's a defensive stock that does actually hold up well when the times are getting tougher. And it's actually surprising how well this is done when, the market's actually going up too. Just shows the breadth of this market. But if we look just J&J, what we were talking about just a few minutes ago, J&J has leaked the gains away. So, I mean, you've got to be careful chasing the defensive names on up days. So it's more like you can chase the defensive names in chasing period. I don't like chasing, but you're fully chasing a defensive name on an up day here at major resistance at 500. Maybe it takes it out and maybe it just goes. And, if we go into a war situation and you'll want to own a Lockheed Martin, but I'm not chasing it here today.
All right. Of course, you guys see this blew up BLU. Why is this up? Of course, GSK to strengthen
Another
specialty
merger.
medicines here. Respiratory pipeline with $2 billion deal here for Bellis Health acquisition, BLU. And this was for $14.75 per share. Right now, we're trading at $14.42. Is there an opportunity for this to maybe go towards that $14.75, Dennis?
No, this once you get into these, it's time value of money you have to consider now. If you're in this, I would ring the register today because move on. Your capital is better in other places. When we didn't have any time value of money, people were looking for, like risk arbs would be coming into this stuff saying, well, I can pick up, a 3-4% here, if I hold this thing for a while. You can't, it's not worth the risk reward anymore because you can pick up 4% risk free. A few weeks ago, you could pick up 5% risk free. Now it's more in the, in the mid fours to pick up risk free. But I mean, you look here, it's a move on trade. You've been paid, awesome, you're in it, take the money, move it into something else that can make you money again, because this is just now time value of money.
All right, I do see one showing up on here that I kind of wanted to mention, not specifically this one, but I do see, solar stock EMPH up here in the pre-market. Started seeing some solar making a move yesterday.
Starting to come now.
Yeah,
we talked about how solar has lagged. And this is, why the reason there's been catch-up trades happening here now, where people are looking through and saying, okay, well, people like me, well, I'm wrong, maybe I'm over narrative. What hasn't gone yet? And, what we're seeing is, ENPH, which has been beat up. It's starting the last few days starting to go. So on pullbacks here, I kind of like this. I mean, this has been your leader in solar here. It's the biggest portion of the TAN. SEDG has kind of been already gone. Well, it's kind of still in the range.
No, I think that one
solar.
actually getting ready, right? I mean,
SEDG.
yeah,
But we just
believe it or
came from
not.
270 to 320. So I'm like, I put it in perspective and you're coming to the
Mhm.
top of the range here. So I just don't like chasing.
It's a stock that I've learned, at least it likes to trade off the monthly. And that's one thing that you got to kind of catch sometimes with stocks. Like, it has such a huge range that I feel like it makes sense on the monthly chart more than the daily chart. But yeah, it is starting to come back here. EMPH definitely strong. I wanted just to mention Sunrun because it did get an upgrade today from KeyBank to overweight, announcing a $27 price target. It's at $21.25. And it's been sleepy. It's been down there. If anything, has made a recent kind of bottoming, undercut and rally type of look. And what I like is that when it undercut there and it went down through the support, it got more volume, especially on that day where it was really low at 1669. So that could be buyers that stepped up through there Just trying to get it right back up here. So doesn't look too bad today. I'm going to keep on watch to see what happens in the solar game here today.
Trades that look like Sunrun, where stocks have been beat up and now they're in consolidation station. I mean, the IWM looks like Sunrun. I mean,
Yeah.
we got beat up really hard. We know it was the banks that were really beating it up, and now you've had 4 or 5 days of just consolidation, and it looks like it wants to get above 180 to me. It just looks like it here. So, my Disney chart's the same thing. It's been beat up. It's down from the 120 it did after hours, and now you have like 10 days of consolidation here. So I love consolidation station. That's when I strike as consolidation station. It's how I always traded, is like, I don't jump on the moving trains. I jump on the train that I think could start moving. And then if I pick the wrong direction, at least I know where my risk is, and then I can get out quickly. But when you're chasing, it's like, okay, well, now it's pulling back, but it's still in an uptrend. Well, I got to hold it longer. So it's hard to define the risk when you're chasing. So that's why I love consolidation station. Sunrun wasn't consolidation station. The analyst is breaking it out here now. So, maybe you look at other ones that are in consolidation station.
I see Airbnb up today. That's an interesting one, starting to recover. And now I have to start thinking, because the only thing that kept me out of Airbnb before was the thinking that we might go into recession. But slowly but surely, that thought has been leaving my mind. And I'm starting to look at Airbnb as a potential investment down here. Not a trade, but an investment. Because I've been looking at this 120 spot before when we went through all this action. And I said, once we come through 120, I wanted to get in. But when we went through that, we gapped up through it last time, right? And then we came back down to this level plenty of times before. Now we're starting to recover that level. I'm actually interested in Airbnb. And with that being mentioned, if we're not going to go into recession, I'm also going to be watching things like the airlines, also like American Airlines. It's down there towards 1280s, really close towards lows that you have like right to the left. Like 1280s is like a good support.
Airlines are on the bottom.
They're at the bottom.
You talk about not chasing. And again, a lot of momentum traders don't like this stuff, but we've seen multiple stocks here now, Mitch. The catch-up trade is starting to work. So there's certain times to play the catch-up trade. I think that time is now to play the catch-up trade, to look at some of these things that haven't gone. Now, again, a lot of these things are holding back here because, there was concerns. The regional banks hit a lot of this stuff too, because a lot of these companies have significant amounts of debt. So it wasn't just when the regional banks were going down, it wasn't just the banking crisis. It was like, what companies also have a lot of debt were going down too, because if credit gets tighter, if capital gets, more expensive, that's not good for the companies that are loaded with debt. Now we have seen, as we've got the regional banks stabilizing, at least for now. We're starting to see some of these other companies that were beat up start to turn. Now tech was outperforming the whole line, especially mega cap tech, because there's very little debt there. Apple's debt, they took that on just because rates were low, and Apple's such a money, horse that they could, get rid of that debt if they really wanted to. But, a lot of these other companies are debt free. So you could really see where tech was picking it up, during that little regional banking crisis, was because those companies don't have debt. So the companies that do have a lot of debt are actually beat up right now. And if you think we're not going into another regional banking crisis, if you think it's over, I don't know if it's over. Nobody has a crystal ball. But I'm taking a chance on a few companies here that maybe it's over. So there's a lot of stuff that's beat up, and those airlines are beat up too.
And it does look, of course, if tech can stay strong and recover like it's doing, of course, keep your eyes on Bitcoin, because that is going higher today. Bitcoin stocks have been pushing really strong. MicroStrategy, Riot, names like that. Can they continue to keep pushing? You're seeing Riot up here in the pre-market, up there towards 1367. I'm staying away from this, but then again, I've gotten Bitcoin wrong. I was looking for a pullback to 12,000. We are far from that, right? And so in this case, I'm going to just clearly say it. I'm wrong on the Bitcoin move. But at the same time, I'm wondering if these moves have gone too far, because they definitely have been pushing higher. And I don't see like kind of mining being the focus of cryptocurrency moving forward. But definitely you guys are seeing some of these stocks continuing to push. What do you think about the mining stocks, Dennis, to wrap up?
I want to actually move away from it just because we do have some breaking news that just came at 9 o'clock.
Yeah. All right. No worries. Let's go ahead. Let me wrap up this right quick here. Let me just play the disclaimer right quick, and then we can go towards that breaking news here. All right. Like always, you guys check out TradeZero. If you guys are looking for some short inventory, and check it out here. We got a link for you guys to go ahead and get 2 weeks, 2 months for free of Zero Pro. So check that out, team. Throwing up the link right now.